Hey guys, welcome back to Bake the Podcast. Today I sit down with my friend Megan, who's the founder and CEO of Noa Co. We talk all things business. She gives us some sneaky wellness tips and lets us in on how she balances motherhood and being a wife. I hope you enjoy this episode. Megan Pieterson. I'm just teasing you. I know that you're Megan Pieterson now. Let's talk about Noa Co. Okay, so what is Noa Co? You are the CEO of Noa Co. That's a mouthful. And what is the brand? What is it all about?
So Noa Co it's the root of the name is Japanese. Okay. So in kanji, Noa means you say like Noa, it means my love. And I had like a dream of starting a health and supplement brand that kind of catered for a full family, for anyone, all walks of life. And I wanted like the ethos of it to be made with love. So that's where the name came in, and also my time spent in Japan, which we can talk about later. So that's what it means. It's like a brand that's for everyone, and where like I've always wanted there to be something for everyone within the brand, and that people can trust us and know that it's essentially made with love. Sounds cheesy, but that was like the base of it all.
I love it because it's your root, your like love of Japan and living there and all that kind of thing. How long were you in Japan for?
So I was there for 3 years, from 2013 to 2016. It was amazing.
Gosh.
I always say I cried when I got there because it was so different and so like surreal compared to anything I'd ever experienced. And then when I left, I cried because it was such an amazing, I grew as a person. I grew in everywhere.
You?
Oh, what was it? 10 years ago. So I was 25, 24.
Okay, yeah. Oh, what a nice time to travel.
So nice.
And you were there because of your husband's work, which is rugby.
Yeah, playing rugby.
Yeah. So what did you do for fun in Japan?
My word.
I'm totally pivoting because I'm curious about Japan.
I know, like pre-kids, just traveled so much. I did I did all the amazing places, Kyoto. Every weekend I was seeing something new and experiencing the culture, lots of food tours, and I did a lot of like nutritional courses.
Really? Okay.
Yes, that's like kind of where I learned, the base of the brand.
So your love of wellness was really born in Japan.
That was like my awakening. And I think JP, being a professional athlete and, as you know, performing at the highest level, I like took it upon myself to become obsessed. And I was so passionate about it. And he was literally the best test dummy. I could give him the weirdest. I mean, he would be eating like natto, which is like fermented soybeans. He would have anything. I'd make him these concoctions with like bee pollen and like, reducing inflammation, cutting out dairy, like doing these little mini
It's
experiments.
so funny. I'm friends with a lot of WAGs. For those who don't know, WAGs is wives and girlfriends of athletes. And I know that everybody hates the term WAG. I'm the only one who likes it, actually. And
not a WAG anymore. Retired WAG.
You're still a rugby WAG in some ways. You coach WAG now. And I feel like a lot of us take on that role of being our partner's sort of guru in the background, which people don't know about that. So like when your husband is always injured or dealing with inflammation, muscle soreness, tightness, you end up like going and researching how to alleviate that, because it really affects your life negatively when they're like crouching like in the morning after a match and they're like so sore and you can't do anything because they're sore. It's so funny because everyone I speak to does the same thing. We'll like go find these modalities. Like,
totally.
I'm trying to get Wayne into visualization and meditation for like goal setting, and then he will do it. He'll do anything I tell him to do.
If they think it'll help.
Yeah, no, literally. I can give him anything. I'm like, this is the best thing. Take it, like sea moss, whatever.
Yeah.
When we were in Barbados, we were there for cricket. And we drank like loads of these sea moss juices.
That was like back then, right? That wasn't even like trending like it is now.
It wasn't trending at all.
Yeah.
And somebody said it would help us with fertility, and we actually got pregnant. We weren't trying or even struggling, honestly. And I believe it's the sea moss.
So it's actually true.
So I think it's real. And I wasn't really into wellness until maybe I would say 30. I was quite unhealthy prior to my 30s. And you saying you discovered it in Japan, and that's, I think, the beauty of traveling the world is that you learn these like new things about yourself and about health and wellness.
And just different culture. I think like the Japanese are so far ahead in everything, like especially beauty.
What I love about your brand is like you're very stickler about ingredients.
Yeah.
And I was saying in a recent pod with my sister that my mom taught us to read the labels of packages, and like anything that we put into our body, we must know what we put in our body. And I love that you're so intentional about what you put in. Tell us more about that, and maybe give us some tips on what to look out for when we are buying supplements. Like, what are the bad things?
Yeah. So that's so amazing your mom instilled that in you, because that's really not common.
Yeah.
So as you know, like having a professional athlete as a husband, they get drug tested, they get doping tests all the time. I remember people would rock about our house at odd times in England, and JP had shaved his head, so he didn't have hair, so they'd like take an underarm hair.
Oh my
gosh.
Like
all crazy things. And
so Wayne just has to pee in a cup?
Yeah,
then?
so they'd make him do both in England. And so there was just absolutely no chance I could buy anything like off the shelf. It was just way too risky.
Yeah.
So I'd end up like when we were in Japan or while I was in France ordering like an organic powder from here, something from Australia, something from the States. And I'd kind of like make my own little concoctions, always making sure it was super clean ingredients. There was nothing like risky for him. So it was like a necessity for me to like read labels, because I couldn't like jeopardize his career and like our life. So that's where the kind of root of it started, that I couldn't find anything in South Africa that was clean. So when we came home and he had Springbok matches or games, I'd have to bring stuff, order in from Australia to where we were, and then come home, because he was always very big. He'd need to get bigger, but it's just getting enough protein was hard when you're that big, that height.
Yeah. How much protein does he have to have if he's
a
playing?
lot. Well, he's like 6'3", and running, having to be fast is tricky to like maintain that.
Yeah, because I'm like tiny and I have to have 100 grams for like muscle building.
Yeah,
and
it's like 4 times that or something.
Oh
it's
my
insane.
gosh, that's mad.
So it was like, that's where it started, just out of a necessity of having to have clean stuff. And then being in Japan and learning about how they have such a like healthy diet, lots of plants, learning about collagen for the first time. I'd never seen it before, used like not as a topical cream, I'd seen it in beauty. That was super interesting. So we started taking it. Everyone in Japan has collagen over 30. It's not even like a novelty. It's just have your coffee, put collagen somewhere.
It's like multivitamin is a normal thing for us.
It's like omega-3. The collagen gets you somewhere in a probiotic. It's just part of their routine. And I was like, how is this so normal here? And I've never seen it before. This was like in 2013. And I mean, even at a petrol station, you can fill up, get petrol, and there'll be like little collagen shots at the garage, like little 10 grams of collagen. That's just so readily available.
But they say that Asian beauty is always like ahead of the curve.
Very.
Like even Korean stuff, like I watch on TikTok, they've got the most amazing treatments.
The skincare is, everything is like, and I mean, look at that whole blue diet, like how they live so long. They don't have a lot of gluten. They don't have much dairy. It's a very clean diet, lots of plants, lots of fish. Lots of fatty fish, lots of fermented foods. So like we'd be having natto, which is like fermented soybeans JP would have.
Oh, wow.
So good for your gut. Lots of kimchi. So yeah, that kind of sparked this. It was like the most perfect ecosystem to just like understand wellness and health from like this Asian perspective. And then when I came home, JP was like, you can do this. Like you keep making me all these things. Stop buying it from everywhere, do it yourself. And I was like, there's no way I'll be able to like find a factory that can put in the kind of stuff I want. Like I want proper like medical grade fiber. I want organic ingredients. Like where will I find this in South Africa?
I know you always, whenever we like chatting about business and stuff, you'll tell me that like your ingredients are always the thing that stresses you out, because your cash flow and everything, and you're like, our ingredients are so expensive, but it is the best of the best. So what are we looking for? Okay, you say yours is the best, right? What does it not have in it, and what does it have in it? What are fillers? What are the seed oils? Like, tell me everything.
So I think all of our products are they're not just like a basic product. Like our proteins are not just a protein. We've got like a medical grade fiber in there. We've got like a great probiotic in there. So it's like a staple product in your routine, but with like an elevated edge to it. That's like in our whole range. So I think what to look out for me, it would probably be anything inflammatory, like seed oils, gums, thickeners, any like numbers that you don't understand, or colorants. I think there's not enough, brands should be held to a much higher standard than they are in this industry, and they're not. So you really have to like trust your brand and just know that what's in there is clean. And unfortunately, as a consumer, if you haven't really educated yourself, you can get hooked. I think when you're buying something, turn it around, have a look. If you can pronounce all the ingredients, that's a good sign. If there's something you're not sure about, you can always contact the brand. But for me, I want to kind of have treats and have yummy things on my own terms. And like if I want to have a dessert after dinner, that's like my prerogative. I always just wanted the brand to be clean on its own. So like when you're having Noa Co, it's clean. There's no nasties, there's no sugars. like whey, like derivatives, anything like that in there. So you
and
know
none
it's
of
clean.
it's like flavored. You don't have any flavor
No,
profiles
and
like
that's the
chocolate
hard
brownie.
thing.
I know, because
everyone
people
wants
ask you,
flavors.
yeah.
And we, like, for instance, our protein, we only have chocolate because it's organic cacao, and vanilla is vanilla pod,
bean,
an actual vanilla pod that we've
wow.
imported. So it's hard because I want to have like blueberry cookie and all of that, but that's not actually real,
Yeah.
So nothing in our range, is artificial. Everything is, and it's actually a miracle. It tastes how it does, because our plant protein is literally plants to the equivalent of like 20 grams of protein, which is like a tin of tuna.
Yeah.
And probiotics and fiber, like a really good fiber.
And then when you add the collagen with it in your smoothie, it's like 30 grams.
It's like 30 grams.
And I'm always trying to pump.
And it's an organic coconut milk, where a lot of creamers have like MCT oils and synthetic oils. Like nothing is synthetic in ours. So I'm really proud of it, because it was honestly like, took about 2.5 years to get it right. I was still living in France, flying back and forth. I had people mule powder. It's so hard to like send powder to Europe and back. Yeah. Of course. So it took so long to get right. Like honestly, the formulations are special. Like a lot of time behind it.
So how long were you away from South Africa? You were in Japan, and then you mentioned France.
So we lived in Japan, England, and France. We were away like 9 years overseas. Okay. And then moved back 2019, and I had Maya, my first daughter, in France. And then 2020 had my second daughter in Durban, where we live now. And I launched Noa Co when I was 6 months pregnant.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely crazy.
And did you have a facility, a warehouse?
No, I started it. I think I ordered like 200 of each unit. I had only 2 products at the beginning, and it was all in my garage.
Which products were those? The protein powder?
It was the protein and the collagen, the vanilla and the collagen. And then I started a website. I didn't even have a Facebook page because I don't have Facebook. And I started Instagram
You're like, hi there, please buy my product.
I just didn't know it would happen. And then obviously we launched in Feb, and then it was COVID 3 months later.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, okay, this was a waste. This is going to tank. Like there's no way. This thing's going to have lost.
And now you're in retailers. How does that feel?
Oh, well, I think COVID was actually like the tipping point for us, because it was, people were at home, people had time, people were like super into their health. People were looking at the ingredient labels and like saying, comparing us.
They had the time to look again and see.
And I think we were one of the first who brought in a really good high grade collagen back in 2020, where it wasn't as...
You were the first I heard of. And someone told me that if you need like too many teaspoons of collagen, it's like a red flag.
Yeah.
And I know with yours, it's just 2 flat teaspoons of collagen.
Exactly.
And someone told me that if you need like a lot of teaspoons, and that's not
there's a lot of
sign.
fillers in there.
Yeah. So you're needing to add more product.
So ours is different, because it isn't just a plain one. It's got MCT. So it helps like balance blood sugar. It also has a prebiotic. So again, it's like not your average. It's quite a strategic kind of coffee move. So,
and what's the benefit of that? What's it?
So it helps balance blood sugar. It's a natural fat burner.
Oh.
Prebiotics prep your gut for the day. They're like all part of your happy gut bacteria. So it's really like a strategic coffee or smoothie that sets you up.
Yeah. So your skin's going to be looking good. You've got great hair, nails,
Thank you. Hopefully, I think it's the collagen. I've been consistent though, but probably since living in Japan, because I just it's part of my life. But you were asking about how it all started. Yeah, I started in my garage. And then COVID hit, and I thought I'd lost it all. I was like, this thing's going to tank. What am I going to do with all the stock? And then people started buying it. I mean, JP would come home from work, and there'd be like bags like pouring down the stairs.
Oh my gosh.
And I was packing orders. People got dummies in their orders. I was like breastfeeding. Someone got a dummy. I didn't know what was going on. It was like such a blur. It was like a whirlwind.
So you were breastfeeding
my second daughter, Ari.
Aria, you were breastfeeding Aria, you were running your business, you were married, your husband was working.
Playing rugby at the time still.
Yeah, playing rugby. And I know all about the sort of, I want to say, the like hard times when your husband's traveling and you sort of running the house by yourself, and then you've got this new business. Where did you find the like energy to push through that? Because I could imagine it to be quite hard.
Well, you know what it's like. You've been running a
No, I
ship
do know
for a
what
long
it's like,
time.
but I was like falling apart at the bone.
No, it's hectic. I think I didn't anticipate that it would take off how it did, which is obviously such a blessing. I honestly thought I'd have like 3 or 4 orders a day, and it would be like, write a card, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And then people started following the brand, and poetry was a huge turning point for us.
Okay.
They reached out to us in 2021. and started stocking us in their stores, which was so great. They were so lovely to me and the brand. I think that was like crazy. I couldn't believe it. But JP,
was that your first retailer that reached
so we were in
out?
Faithful to Nature first,
Okay.
which is incredible. They're
I
the
love
OGs.
Faithful to Nature.
They, you know why, being there, just it's such credibility for a brand because
100%.
they fine tooth check everything.
Yeah.
So as a consumer, you know if you're buying from there, you know it's clean and it's been checked because they really do vet everything. So
they gave you sort of that stamp of approval.
They
That this
did
is a
early
clean
days,
product.
which was really great, you know, because when you really invest so much in your ingredients, it's so nice that it's appreciated.
Yeah.
So I've got a soft spot for them.
Yeah, I also do because I feel like I can trust what I'm buying from them.
Yeah.
And I go in and out of being like a wellness girly because sometimes I'm very good and then the other times when I fall off the bandwagon. Especially with like the products I consume and the snacks I give my kids.
Yeah.
My sister's way more sort of firm in her boundaries with snacks and that kind of stuff. And I know that I can always go to Faithful to Nature. It takes like thinking out of it, you know. I know I'm going to get a good product there. And also like with now trying to be less toxic and like thinking about the environment, I know that if I buy something from there, it's like healthy and good all the way around.
Totally.
So I feel like it's a real tick for you guys that you got stocked on Faithful.
Exactly. And they were so great from early days. I'd be sending from our home through couriers to Cape Town. It was still in Durban at the time.
Yeah.
Sending
The whole
like
business
boxes.
is in Cape Town now.
The whole business is here.
But you in Durban.
I'm in Durban. So we moved Noa Co. Probably it's been here nearly 2 years now.
Okay. So take me through, so you started by yourself, obviously, and then you went into retail and stocking in stores, which is Poetry, Faithful to Nature,
Wellness Warehouse, a few health shops and our online store being quite busy.
Yeah.
So it kind of got too big for me to do it at home. And then we moved into another factory as a temporary
And at this
stop.
point, are you self-funding based on like savings?
So bootstrap the beginning, like very, very low.
Okay,
little
so
seed
you saved up
investments.
money or
Yeah, saved
whatever.
up a bit of money, not too much, and a laptop. That's all I had
Okay.
to start. And I just had enough for stock, basically.
And then you're turning stock and you're reinvesting into your business.
Exactly. So I had just enough cash to do my first order of stock. I had to figure out the socials on my own, figure out branding, figure out website.
And what for you
call
was
a
the most
friend.
challenging in that
The
period?
packaging has been the biggest.
Still now?
No, we're good now. But I mean, I think we've had like 5 or 6 versions of our bags.
So you said that the packaging was the hardest, sort of the most challenging part of the
packaging
business.
was
Why?
hard. I think because I was so set on what I wanted, and our bags are beautiful. There's not a lot around like that. And the first few versions, I think the first version I got, the bag was like tinfoil.
Oh no.
I was like, I've ordered like 20,000 of each of these bags, and the MOQs on packaging are so astronomical. It just breaks your cash flow as a small business. So I'd have to order a new set of packaging. So like there's no profit, there's no cash flow. You keep ordering packaging until it's good. So that was probably the hardest part. We lost so much money on
And just draining money.
and bad suppliers, trying to find a good supplier. Finally, I found one. Who's, you know, great and listens, and it's the right density, because obviously our ingredients are specialized.
Yeah.
It's fiber, it's like not pharmaceutical, but there's high level ingredients that need to be protected. So it can't be like an opaque.
High quality
Yeah,
fiber.
so I need thick bags that can, you know, keep the integrity of the product. So that was a really difficult learning curve, and just dealing with suppliers and a lot of like men and boardrooms and
Yeah, so
tricky.
tell us what that's about. Like, you're obviously a female-owned brand.
Yeah.
Most of your team is women, I
Yes.
think. Is that
Well,
right?
now it's kind of changed, but at that point, it was just me. It's just one man show.
So you
doing
never had an
everything.
assistant, you never had someone
Nothing
packing?
in the beginning.
Just you and two
I had
babies.
me and 2 babies. And
Maya
then,
was packing orders.
Well, the plan was just for me to do a few orders a day. And then obviously my helper started helping me. My incredible, that was like, it just got like snowballed.
Yeah.
We were all, I mean, when people came over, they were also packing orders. Like everyone was
Like,
involved.
come over for tea,
Come over
but
tea,
actually,
can you just pack it up for Wellness Warehouse?
actually you work for me.
Like everyone, just my sister on the weekends, like my sister-in-law would come visit. They were all packing orders in the morning. Shame.
Oh my gosh.
So it was a big
So what
labor of
happens
love.
from those like humble sort of beginnings where you packing your own orders to now where I know you do it fulfillment at a different,
Yes.
at like a DC.
Yes.
How did you get, let's talk about funding. How did you get
Funding.
from there to here? Because I think with a lot of business owners, myself included, you'd have a brand or a product and you obviously have the goal to take it to the next level. but we don't often talk about funding. I studied business science or business management, sorry. I don't know why I made up my own degree there, but I studied business management at UCT, and I still struggle with the idea of funding and where to go, like whether you're going to get a bank loan, a loan from a friend, or raising capital. So take us through that process. When did you decide to raise capital and how did it go?
It's so tricky because I think it differs for every kind of business. Mine was also like a product-based business. And when I launched breastfeeding support in 2022, I had to do funding because it was such an extensive like piece of work in getting it ready. It's such a special product. It's like a 2-in-1. It was first to market. There was a lot of trials we needed to do. So I needed quite a bit of money. And also the MOQs on that product were not small.
Yeah.
So I did a funding round and I had some like temporary shareholders join, which was really great. They were really helpful. And I was looking for kind of the right partner to join me because the business I knew was going to eventually move to Cape Town. So I was essentially looking for like the perfect kind of partner to complement my skills. So I always think when you're looking for a partner or partners, it's important to not all kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's important that they're good at what they do, I'm good at what I do. And like when it comes down to equity at the end of the day, like you just got to try hold on as long as you can, because when your business is like in its infancy, you can sell 20% of your company for like nothing because it's so little. But if someone sees the potential in it, you know, it's hard to kind of say no to the cash, but you've got to kind of stick to your guns. And I definitely had a few offers when we were still quite young from some businesses, people I knew.
So people just reached out to you from nowhere, like, hey, I want to invest and somehow help you guys grow.
And then it didn't feel like the right fit. And then I did like that kind of temporary funding round where we paid back our shareholders, which was really great. And I recently have brought on new partners who I'm still majority shareholder in the company, but they are Cape Town based and they are incredible. We have like all three of us have completely different skills.
Yeah.
I've got like a CFO, finance genius, and like a marketing specialist. And then I'm more on like ops and product development and R&D. So we've got a nice balance. And I've been really particular about like holding on until I found the right people.
That's really good and brave also.
It's really important. So I held out for like just almost 5 years, try to hold on to my equity and just obviously let the business grow and increase the value of your business. But it's hard. It's not always easy. And I'm very privileged that I was able to save up some money and start my own business on my own, which is I'm really blessed I could do that. Because not everyone's in that position to just, you know, not work, have your kids and have a startup. Like I realized I'm really lucky to have had that.
You are lucky, but you also work hard and you have like incredible motivation and ideas. Like, you're not someone who's just like, you know, just had things happen for them. You've gone out and gone to fetch your opportunities as well. And I think with raising capital, that's something that maybe I want you to unpack more. Where does one start? You know, I've got a product business and I want to start raising capital. Where do I go to find money? Do I make a Facebook post and say, hey, I need an investor? No. Like where are we going?
It's like all through building contacts. Like I had a great consultant at the time and an attorney. I was doing like NDAs, and when I was creating different concepts and I was meeting with other companies, it's just like when you're networking and hustling and kind of meet the right people. And that people would always ask you if you've got a startup, how's your funding going? Like it's just interesting. It happened kind of organically for me.
Yeah.
And the partners that I have now, the first time we tried to kind of do something, it didn't work out because I kind of felt like the business was too young and I wasn't sure. And I was like, it's not the right time. Just let me see if this thing's kind of got legs.
Yeah.
And then it was the right time, you know, into last year for it all to kind of happen.
Together.
But it's hard. I can't really say like where you go, where do you find funding? It's tricky and you can't trust people. And you know, one thing I learned is when you have shareholders, it's kind of like a marriage. It's like your husband or your wife.
Yeah.
So you've got to make sure you guys are very aligned because essentially they've got to say, and then making sure.
So do you interview them or?
Yeah, so like my previous shareholders were purely a funding arrangement that we did, and they've exited. So they were really great to help me get breastfeeding support out, which was like a big turning point for us. And my current partners have bought equity to be partners. So
but they approached you and you interviewed them, spoke to them, got to know them.
And I've known them for a long time and I know what their skill sets are. And it's like the exact thing I've been looking for. I'm not the finance person. Funny enough, I did business economics at school and I didn't do maths. And I wanted
to do maths?
No, and I wanted to do accounting. And my school was like, you should be doing accounting if you're doing business. And I was like, I don't need it. But looking back, probably did need
now you're
to do accounting. Now I'm paying a lot of money for people to do it. But yeah, I think so.
So tell me something, what are you launching a new product?
We do. We have some stuff.
I can just see it in your eye. Like when you're launching something, it's like you have a look and I just know. Like with breastfeeding support, you just had this thing. And then eventually I peeled it out of you by hinting. Like
it's taking so long. It's taken so long because again, like nothing artificial. So it's kind of like I've shot myself in the foot because it's almost impossible to like add to our range at this point.
Because of the clean element.
Because of how clean it is. And I like can't, there's no way I'm going to add something that's not on the same level. Otherwise I'll just call it because I'm passionate about it. I'm like obsessed.
But there's things that you want to sort of achieve and do, and then you'll go on like a research.
Yeah. So this current product, we've got a few on deck now. It's like it's all been in the works for years and years and years.
Okay.
I mean, there's like videos of me tasting stuff 2 years ago. I'm still not out. Like still not happy. The one ingredient, I'm not sure. So and that's the hard part. Like when you're a perfectionist and there's so much, like you put so much heart into everything.
Yeah.
Things can be slow and the customer wants something new. So I also need to be careful.
Well, you can also achieve newness. I think newness through marketing.
Yeah.
I think that's something that one can lean on to when you're unable to create newness in the business. You know, doing a fresh perspective on how you present your brand is always a nice option instead of having like a new product every time. Which I know you guys are doing now with more social media content. And I know you don't like being in front of camera, but you have to.
I know, you always tell me like, Megan, just stop.
I know, you need to be on. I mean, I know that your brand team's also like, Megan, you need to do founder content.
I know.
I think it's important and that's where things are going. And you're so beautiful and you speak so eloquently that we want to hear from you and we want to hear from founders. Why don't you want to be online?
I think you know what, I honestly think I had maybe like not a chip on my shoulder, but I think I've told you this before, but I think I just wanted to launch it and like JP obviously having a success and being this person, I didn't want anyone to know like he had anything to do with it. It was just like my thing. And like I wanted the brand to do really well first. And then like I would like come out there and be like, okay,
by the way, it's me.
It's me. Like, and he's the whole story behind it. So I don't know if it was the right way. I also had like just had 2 babies. I was like deep in the trenches. Didn't really feel like kind of coming out there and being like, hi. I think it was like COVID and it was like a crazy time and also like not anticipating what would like kind of happen. I don't think I was like ready. But
now you're ready for the world to see you.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to like, come out there and talk about it and help other women. I think I'm even more passionate about just helping other women and not like make the mistakes I made. Yeah. Even like a friend of mine the other day asking like, what should I do about equity? Like a family member's offering me this. And I'm like, what are the terms? Like what are you going in this, you know, what's it for? What are they offering you? What do they expect? So I think we definitely need like a network of female entrepreneurs and females in business where we can help each other.
I think the uniqueness of being a female business owner in sort of our landscape, most women I know who own businesses also have children and are married, which adds an extra element of responsibility on your shoulders because you want to be at drop-off, you want to be at pickup, you want to take them to ballet or swimming or whatever it is, but you also want to be present in your company. Yeah. And I think that's what I always struggled with is like finding the balance. And then I always go between like completely not working and then like I'll research and come out with a new thing. I'm never consistent because of my commitment to my family. And I really struggle with that. How do you find like balancing I know that you're a very present mom, your roles as a mom and a wife, and then being supportive of your husband's new career as a rugby coach. I think it seems like you do it all so well. How do you do that? And where do you find, the motivation to be there in all those pockets?
I think it's like, I'm really grateful that I do work for myself and that I am able to go to ballet and I don't have to ask someone, can I do the 2:00 ballet drop off? So I think I feel like I have so much gratitude that I'm on my own kind of schedule. But then, as you know, like you make up for it. Like you'll be working late, you'll be catching up. And when it's your own business, it never stops. Like I'm always on my phone. There's like a customer service issue and I'm very like, sometimes I'm like, I just hate this phone. I just want to throw it away. Like it's so triggering. Like when you having a moment with your kids and there's like a customer in like PE or something that didn't get their order and is throwing their toys and like, so that's hard. It's hard. I think my biggest thing is like being aware of like, am I being present right now? Am I actually at dinner with the kids? Are we talking about school? Or am I like half? Like I never want to be just like going through the motions. Like when I'm at work, I want to be at work. And it's actually been quite nice that the business has moved to Cape Town. So when I do come here, I'm like all in, and I do like 3 or 4 days every 6 to 8 weeks, and I do full on everything I need to do, and then I can go home. Obviously, I'm still working every day, but I think for me, it sounds cliche, but just trying to be present when I'm in like wife mode, mom mode, when I'm working, not half-assing it. But when you work from home, you do half-ass everything.
I feel like
you're getting interrupted all day. Your kids come home. My little one comes home at 12:30. I sit with her.
Oh, you don't do aftercare? No. Wow, that's even more impressive.
No, it's
mine had aftercare because I find I can't do play dates.
2 lifts also.
Yeah, it's got 2 kids at 2 different schools. Yeah. And then I can't do play dates because I have work and other commitments. So they get like their play date at aftercare and then they get to see their friends. And by the time I fetch them, I'm usually done with what I need to do. Totally. And then I'm like fully present with them. But I'm also okay to drop everything for my kids. And I don't know if that's been my downfall as an entrepreneur or I don't know. I want to be an entrepreneur, but I haven't quite gotten to that point that I want to be at in my journey because I feel like I'm willing to drop it all. You know, if my husband says we're moving to England to go play cricket there, I won't even like think twice. I'll go.
When's the flight?
Like literally, I'm that kind of person, and then I just cancel all of my commitments with my business and my work, and I'll make it happen. But then I always wonder, like, will I regret that down the line? Like, you know, everyone moves on. Your kids are gonna grow up and then, you know, will I have, like, I'm going through this at the moment, actually, where I'm like, oh, am I going to regret not trying things while I'm young?
It's nice to be flexible. Like, sometimes that feeling of, like, knowing that I can't just, like, up and leave, it, like, can strangle you.
Yeah.
Like, knowing that I have, like, staff and a warehouse and, like, people are waiting for stock. Like, I can't just, like, run off and disappear.
I know.
It's actually terrifying.
And you have those feelings where you want
to. It's terrifying because you're like, oh, I can't just, like, up and leave.
Yeah, people count on me. And
and it's, like, a lot of responsibility.
It is. And I think when you are an entrepreneur and you have these other commitments in your family commitments, it's extremely challenging. No one really talks about it and there's not enough conversation around. Obviously, living in South Africa is really great because we have people to help us clean our
The
homes.
traveling husband thing is wild. Like a lot of they can't believe this is like how I live.
No,
like on weekends, they're like, do you guys want to come over? I'm like, just the mom with the kids.
I'm solo with my
JP's gone and they like, shame.
Yeah.
And then during the week, if he's overseas or whatever, like, it's hard.
It's
that's
another
the hard
level
thing.
of
It's another
strength.
layer, yeah.
Yeah. I think being the wife of an athlete, and I don't think I'll ever let my daughter be in a relationship with a professional athlete. I think it's such a sacrifice because you sacrifice all your sort of needs when they're at the top of their game, when they're playing nationally, which Wayne and JP have both done. You sacrifice everything you could possibly need in your life because you need to be there to support them. And then when you get your little bit, like, you know, your business or whatever, and then they like move on to the next thing and then they still need you and it's like, but you all alone, and it can be very lonely. And I don't ever talk about it online ever. Like, people don't know it's difficult for me. My sister even said to me, she's like, I don't even know, you don't make it look difficult. So I'm just like, this is your life. You're just so normal about it. But it's hard.
People have no idea. Like, imagine when you're 33 or something. I think JP was 32. 33, stop doing what you've done this whole time. Start again. Like, can't do your old career you've done since 18. Like, it's mind-blowing. Like, we're lucky our husbands are so, like, JP's been incredible. He's had a really great transition into coaching. He always wanted to coach. So
and you've given me so much advice on, like, that side of things. Yeah. I've spoken to a lot of other women in the same position and I'm like, you know, what do I need to prepare for? And you said to me that, you know, Wayne should do his coaching levels and he's done all those things to prepare for, you know,
before
because they have to retire. Imagine retiring at 30 years old. It's actually insane.
I think JP was 32. He retired quite young.
Yeah. And then pivoted into coaching. And coaching's even more intense because
it's intense. I honestly am more stressed now than when he was playing. Because when he was playing, he was chill. He didn't make too many mistakes. It was more like I didn't want him to get hurt. But now it's like, it's so much more stressful because it's like a whole lot of other people you've got to worry about that make him look bad.
Yeah.
Or make him look good, which is also great.
And as a wife, you carry a lot of that weight.
Totally.
That pressure.
And it's on TV, like, it's just, unless you're in it, like, you'll never understand. Like, you have a bad day at work, it's between you and your boss. Like, when my partner has a bad day at work, it's in the paper. He's getting, like, abused on social media. So like walking through that with him, and like, you know what it's like. It's rough.
It's horrible.
And I'm still in that, you know, people got a lot of opinions. And, but he's got a great character. He can handle it.
Yeah.
So I
feel like Wayne handles it better than me, to be honest.
They always do. That's why they're doing it and not us.
I don't know if you feel the same way, but there is a part of me that feels sometimes like my dreams or goals are like insignificant because I'm married to someone who's so like big and shiny. Do you know what I mean? Like he's doing
we're all shiny.
I know we are all shiny, but I often have those feelings where I'm like, oh, like what I'm doing is not that important. And I have to kind of like really lean into Wayne in so many ways and say I'm feeling like insignificant because it's kind of like you've got this really big career. You're like, it's so massive.
It's because you've always had to be really flexible.
Yes.
Because they can never like alter what they have to do. So that's why you always feel like that.
Yeah, and it's difficult, and I won't recommend it. I think there's something trending on TikTok. I know you don't go on social media, but this is trending at the moment, like wag life and like
really?
day in the life as a wag.
Stop.
It's just as a
but
it's
I'm
like a joke.
An old school wag. Like I'm like
a granny wag.
Granny wag.
No, it's a trend that's like, I think it came around like Wimbledon or something. One of the influencers is dating a tennis player, and she made like this really cool content around being a wag, and then now it's kind of snowballed into like a little bit of a trend. And I'm not sure if you know this, but athletes are having a moment, like ad wise, like there's this cool Nike ad with all the women athletes around the world. Like it's a real thing. And then I see this and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I want to tell people like this is not glamorous. Like being a wag is so intense. It's a sacrifice. You sacrifice your goals, your time, your romance. Like Wayne and I had spent, the first time we spent a full year together was in lockdown.
Stop. Were you in England?
No, we were in South Africa. But we were supposed to move to England and then it got cancelled because of COVID. Yeah. So that was the first time we'd ever spent like a full year together, like a normal couple. But like,
cricket is way worse than rugby.
No, cricket
they
is
travel
hectic.
Like 3 times or something more. It's
like
months.
No, months. The longest time we've been apart. What's the longest you've been apart?
Like 7 weeks, 6 weeks.
Oh, mine's 7 months.
Stop.
Dead ass. Like he was traveling.
So you didn't see each other for 7 months?
Yes. Well, if I could go, I would have, but it was COVID and I was pregnant.
Oh my word.
I was pregnant with Salma and I couldn't travel because of COVID, and he couldn't come back because of COVID. So I had to have her by myself.
Stop.
And he was on FaceTime. It was the most insane thing. And so I try to go and see him every few weeks. Like my limit is 6 to 8 weeks, and I'll go and see him when he's playing internationally. But it's it's the most crazy thing, and I can't even like put it into words when he's gone, and it's so challenging to like do the drop-offs and do
manning the whole ship by yourself.
I know, and then when they're so busy, that's when the kids decide to act the fool, and it's like some issue
always I know.
that you need to deal with.
JP doesn't travel. Like since he started coaching, he's definitely home more.
Yeah.
So we've got it's just the weekends he's away, but during the week he's there. So the week's like pretty chilled for me.
So you have more of a support system now.
Yes, definitely.
And if you weren't doing your company, what would you be doing? Like what would be ideal?
I might be back. I don't know. I have where I worked before. I used to be in fashion, also doing marketing. I'm not sure. I've always wanted to work for myself.
That's where I know you from actually.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh wait, that's where I know you from.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. From when
well, we have lots of mutual friends.
Yeah. So
that's why I know you as Megan Smith.
Oh my gosh.
Because I don't know.
We just thought it was through Carrie, but it wasn't. No. It was through Mr. Price. Hey?
Yes.
So I reached out to you for something, for like a shoot.
Yeah. I did lots of stuff with Mr. Price back in the day.
I was the marketing coordinator for all the editorial stuff.
And your colleague, she's like blonde and like small.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's where
that was like in 2011.
I still have your birthday on my calendar. That's not your actual birthday. Because I wished you happy birthday. And
yes, I know. Last week I was like, what?
It's not my birthday, man.
Yes, that's ages ago.
That's from Microsoft
like, I love this
Outlook.
girl. We need to use her.
That's from Outlook, and they say when you save your birthday, if you send me an email,
oh my
that's why I have your birthday in my calendar.
My old email address.
I know. So you'd be in fashion, you think? Or PR?
I always wanted to have my own business, like always.
Okay.
It's like my dream somehow. I've always been like a bit of a hustler.
Yeah.
I always work. My dad was in food, and he, like my sister and I were like selling cheese on like school holidays at like a spa. He'd be like, go stand there, go like learn the value of a rand.
You guys have always been entrepreneurial.
Yeah, and then I would work at like doing promotions. Like I was always just doing something.
So I was traveling with JP then for cricket, for rugby. Sorry, I said cricket. how is that? Because it might have been a bit like
It
challenging
was,
for you to not work.
So I studied a lot while I was away. Okay. So I did my honors.
I love a course.
I love a course. I did my honors for the 2 years. I did it slowly. And then I did like a postgrad through UCT. I did another postgrad.
So what did you study? You studied
I studied business communication. And then I did my honors in communication science. And then I did postgrads in like branding, digital communication.
Okay, so all marketing stuff.
Marketing, brand. So like, yeah, Noa Co is kind of like my love for branding but like with my passion, meeting my passion of like health, wellness. I'm like a wellness girly. I'm like, let's do Pilates.
Yeah, I could picture you being like a Pilates instructor.
That's me. I'm like, I actually did want to do Pilates. That's so funny you said that.
I did the course.
When I lived in England, did you? When I lived in England, I tried to do the course and I tried to pay for this course like 3 times and the payment would not go through and I found out I was pregnant.
Oh, wow.
It was the weirdest
crazy.
thing. I know. And you had to do, it was like Body Control in London, Start Pilates, like a really good studio.
Yeah,
you had to audition.
I did the Start course.
Did you?
Yes. I just finished it in November. I'm not going to be an instructor. I just love doing a course.
I love it.
It's the best. I can picture you being a Pilates instructor. So what are some of your wellness tips? Like what do we need to know? What are our skincare tips?
I think I'm like, what am I approaching?
So obviously
my 40s?
collagen, protein.
Collagen, gut health, I think, like a good probiotic. I don't take that many supplements.
Okay.
I pretty much try to eat as much protein as I can. I love exercise. But I think as I've gotten older, like when I was younger, I could do 1 million burpees and jumping around. And as I've gotten older, I think we're all kind of, I'm probably entering that like perimenopause phase.
Yeah.
A lot more sensitive of like my cortisol levels.
Same.
So I do a nice split between like 2 Pilates a week, 2 strength trainings a week. And I love it. It's like my hour of me time and I don't miss it.
I do walking and strength training.
And a lot of walking.
Yeah.
I walk on my days off, but I love Pilates. I do like classical, proper.
Yes, Pilates is amazing.
It's the best.
I was doing a lot of bar and it's just too tough on my body now.
Yes, and for me, I had 2 very big babies, big like low babies, so my pelvic floor was pretty messed up. I had like an abdominal, like what's it called, like a split in my abdominal wall.
Oh, diastasis
recti, yeah. So it's like my teacher's incredible, Tash, and she's helped me change my body, and I just love it.
Yeah.
So I'm obsessed.
And skincare wise, what are you using? What should we be using?
Skincare.
I always ask you because you're such a doll. Like you always have like the best wellness things, and it's never like complicated.
I love it. I always like on our friends groups. I'm like, do use this? Don't use this. This was disappointing. I think I spend on like a good serum, and then the rest is affordable.
Are you willing to say the brands?
Yeah, like Helio Cape. I like sun cream. I like SkinCeuticals for my serums.
Okay.
Vitamin C, the night serum, one of them, like any of them are good.
Okay, so those are your wellness tips, and obviously drinking lots of water.
Lots of water, trying to eat enough protein.
Yeah, protein is nature's Ozempic, guys.
And it's like Carrie's always like it's a full-time job. This is exhausting. Like
eating protein, yes. I have to have 100 grams, and obviously as we're approaching our 40s now, it's about building lean muscle mass, and which is why I love your product so much. And it's the only product, I wanted to say this in my video I made for you, but it's the only product that doesn't give me acne. So for me, it's also like a little skincare hack because I can't use whey protein.
Yes, because it has that casein stuff, and for people that are like have flare-ups with skin, it like sets you off so badly.
So with Noa Co, I feel like it's a clean enough for me to not break out or like have any reactions or whatever.
And it's nice to have like with real food. We never show our product like on its own. It's always with like blueberries and like fats, and like it's with other stuff. We don't just want to like push powder. We like have it with other things, whole food. It's so important.
Push powder, that's really cool.
Yeah,
I like that statement.
I know, but it's like you need to have integrity as a brand.
I came up with a whole marketing campaign based on you just saying push powder.
Did you?
Yes, but it's maybe risque.
No.
Megan, thank you so much for being on the pod with me.
Thank you.
Where can we follow Noa Co?
On Instagram. We're just on Instagram for now.
Okay. And we can find you online, noaandco.com.
Noa Co, www.noaandco.com. Instagram. We've got a great local audience. We're very blessed. It's a lot of people sharing organically. So lots of cool recipes and ideas to follow on there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for tuning into the podcast this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube, and make sure that you give us a 5-star rating on Spotify. You guys have already given us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much. And I'll catch you guys in the comments.